Coming up on OU Nightly, we're going to track that fire weather risk that is increasing this week, as well as those warm temperatures returning to the area.
And the violence continues in Mexico. We spoke with an American citizen who's there. Plus, investigators still on the scene tonight after human remains are found on campus. This is OU Nightly.
Norman is bracing for more fire weather, with the National Weather Center announcing tomorrow Norman will be under a fire weather watch. Thanks for joining us tonight on OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Our campus weather authority team is tracking the risk and what you need to know.
Yes, that's right, guys. We are here now looking at this fire weather watch across most of the entire state of Oklahoma. Down to the southeast is kind of dodging that watch as of now. We're going to be looking at that closely the next several days. Right now, we have Robin Darty on campus here live. What do you see outside, Robin?
Well, it's hot, it's dry, and it's windy out here, Isaac, and all those combined are what's putting us under that fire weather watch all day tomorrow here in Norman. Now, the real culprit behind me are these cedar trees. It's trees like these and dry grass which fuel those wildfires. They ignite easily and they allow wildfires to spread very quickly. So if you're a Norman resident, make sure you're staying safe and you're staying aware all day tomorrow. Again, I'm student meteorologist Robin Darty. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Robin. We're going to be talking about all of that and more coming up later in the show. That fire weather threat, how warmth is returning to the area, how it might get a little bit cooler for a while, and when we might see a chance for some rain to satiate some of that dryness that we have here in the area. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Isaac. And Americans are trapped in Mexico today after the Mexican army killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel.
OU Nightly's Leah Smith is live in the studio. Leah, you spoke with someone who's stuck there right now?
Bryn, Lyndon, the U.S. government is asking them to shelter in place. I spoke with one Oklahoman who's stuck in Puerto Vallarta, and he tells me he's witnessing this chaos right outside of his room.
Yesterday there was yelling frightening moments when you heard the motorcycles drive down the road and shooting going on. It was within probably, I'd say about a half a block away, and I can see the gas station. They burned about a block and a half from me, and then they had some car fires on the next street over, and I could see it.
Currently, the state of Jalisco looks like a war zone. Members of the Jalisco New Generation cartel are retaliating against the Mexican government and putting civilians in danger.
Yeah, it's sort of like a double-edged sword because you want to prioritize American citizens, but also they're in Mexico, so it's sort of a sketchy situation. But I think the best deal would just be working with the Mexican government to figure out what the proper response is, I guess.
This situation in Mexico is incredibly dangerous. Some OU students are scared for the citizens stuck in this environment.
This is like so scary and definitely changes my viewpoint, but I think overall as like a young woman, I've always had to be prepared, unfortunately, for things like this. I think you just like always have to be safe, even as a college student. So it makes me really sad.
The U.S. Embassy is posting safety and security updates to their website. We'll be monitoring this story as it develops. Bryn, Lyndon, back to you.
Thanks, Leah. We are learning more about how travel is being affected by the unrest in Mexico.
And Colson Pocock is live, continuing our coverage. Colson, you spoke with a travel agent today?
This week. You have spring break plans in Mexico and plan on traveling there in a couple weeks. I spoke to a local travel agent who says anything can change in the next 24 to 72 hours, but it is likely spring break plans will not be affected.
Already this morning, Puerto Vallarta is cleaning up the area. There's no flights in and out of Cancun that have been canceled. In fact, Cancun is still going strong.
Shelley recommends people get enrolled in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP, which is a free service provided by the State Department that gives people information on where they're traveling to. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Colson Pocock.
Thanks, Colson. The country's travel troubles don't stop there. Confusion about the status of TSA PreCheck have also caused delays and confusion. OU Nightly's Sutton Parker spoke with a TSA agent here in Oklahoma. Sutton.
Bryn, the Department of Homeland Security has been closed for a week due to a partial government shutdown, and TSA employees who fall under DHS are starting to feel it. This weekend, more confusion came as the department announced TSA PreCheck would be suspended and then hours later walked back the decision. Here in Oklahoma, Will Rogers International Airport Public Information Officer Stacy Ham tells me all airport operations are not being affected, but TSA officers continue to work without pay and say morale is down.
It's low because we just came out of a 43-day shutdown. Now we're back in another one, and who's to say we won't be in another one in the next couple of months. So it's just really volatile. It's sporadic. So we're just trying to survive. That's all we can do.
Ham also tells me that the airport has been collecting donations internally for TSA officers who are working without pay. Bryn, Lyndon.
Thanks, Sutton. A massive snowstorm has shut down much of the Northeast. Jack Hancock has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines live from the News Center.
From Maine to Maryland, schools and businesses are shutting down due to a winter storm that has left over 500,000 without power. The historic blizzard dumped nearly 3 feet of snow in parts of the Northeast. More than 5,000 flights were canceled and hundreds more delayed. New York City remains under a state of emergency. The National Weather Service says they're tracking another storm that could bring more snow to the region later this week. Another former British official was arrested due to his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Former UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, was arrested on alleged misconduct while in public office. Like former Prince Andrew, Mandelson is accused of sharing confidential government information with Epstein. British police say the investigation is ongoing. And President Donald Trump is doubling down on tariffs. This comes after the Supreme Court ruled they violated federal law. Tariffs will stop being collected at midnight. Following this decision, President Trump says he will increase tariffs from 10 to 15%. Under a trade law, a president can impose up to 15%. However, this would need congressional approval after 150 days. We will have more on the tariff situation and how they could impact consumers after the break in Money Matters. Bryn, Lyndon.
Thanks, Jack. Coming up on OU Nightly, this big bank is pushing back on a $5 billion lawsuit from the president.
And an update on the human remains found on OU's campus. Next.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. We're continuing to follow an archaeological investigation here on campus.
Construction crews discovered human remains near Ellison Hall late last week. Authorities say the remains are not linked to any crime and probably date back around 100 years.
OU Nightly reporter Michael Buchanan has been following this story. Michael, you found a similar incident from around 70 years ago?
Lyndon, Bryn, that's right. I'm here at the dig site where archaeologists are continuing to remove these remains. I did some research and I found an incident that might provide some insight into last week's discovery. Searching through the archives of the OU Daily, I found a front page story from March 1951. Crews working to build Collins Hall found human remains, specifically skulls. Authorities quickly realized that the remains were cadavers buried there by medical school staff in the early 1900s. Professor of paleontology Dr. J. Willis Stovall took over the investigation. He told reporters at the time, cadavers were kept in a wooden building near Ellison Hall, seen here in this historical photo. He added that the bodies were often buried next to that building. Today, that area is where construction crews discovered the remains last week. It's important to note that the State Archaeological Survey has not released an official explanation. And I just want to note, Chair of the OU Board of Regents, Anita Holloway, was just seen entering the site and examining the dig. It's unclear how many bodies were buried in this area, but we'll continue to follow the story as the investigation unfolds. Reporting live near Ellison Hall, Michael Buchanan, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Michael. OU Nightly will be keeping up with the story. And Trump's new tariffs leaves businesses and consumers worried. Megan Howarth has that and more in today's Money Matters.
Businesses and consumers are facing uncertainty after the Supreme Court ruling against tariffs imposed by President Trump. After Friday's ruling, he imposed a 15% across-the-board tariff on all imports. Businesses and consumers across the U.S. are growing concerned on the impact of these tariffs. What will happen with these previously collected and now deemed illegal tariffs remains unknown. JP Morgan Chase is pushing back on President Trump's $5 billion debanking lawsuit. Last month, Trump sued the company and CEO Jamie Dimon, claiming the company wrongfully removed him as a client for political purposes in 2021. The company claimed that since Dimon cannot be included in the lawsuit, it should move to federal court. Amazon takes the spot as the world's largest company by sales, ending Walmart's 13-year run. The retail giant posted $717 billion in sales last year, just barely defeating Walmart's $713 billion. Despite the rise of Amazon, Walmart's U.S. business continues to gain market share from rivals such as Target. And egg prices are dropping across the U.S. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average price for a dozen is now $2.58. Bryn, Linden.
Thanks, Megan. And coming up,
find out how you can help Oklahoma wildfire victims.
We'll be looking at the fire weather outlook here in the coming moments. Stay with us.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
And welcome back to OU Nightly. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday. Happy Monday to all those who celebrate, and happy Monday to those that love 50s. It's been in the 50s here throughout the day. We've peaked around that high in those upper 50s. It's been pretty nice and pleasant outside with a nice little breeze, not too bad. It's been very, very dry outside. That is really contributing to what we're seeing, though, with our fire weather risk. We're going to talk about that pretty extensively here. The weather's been very, very favorable for that. That wind and that dryness, really the last several weeks, has been playing a big role in that. There's plenty of fuel. You saw earlier in the show, if you were here with us, Robin Darty talked about the cedar trees, all the grass that's very dry. It just goes up very, very quickly. And also, I want to really emphasize something here too. We are causing these fires. So we talk about fire weather, and yes, the weather can definitely contribute to how much these spread and how much we see things grow quickly. But we start these fires most of the time, especially those wildfires. And so 85% of those fires are caused by humans. So that's going to be something we look at very carefully. We want to make sure that we're being very responsible when we have active fires around in the area, especially when these conditions are so favorable. Right now, we're in a critical weather risk for tomorrow and under that fire weather watch as well. So that's something we're going to be looking at. OU Nightly is going to be covering that every single day this week. So make sure you're tuning in every day to see the latest on that. We're going to see wind gusts, though, in those 20s later on in this week. We're really going to kind of come around. We're going to see a cool front move through. I'll talk about that also more in a moment. But that is pretty good evidence right there of a front moving through. We're going to see winds ramp up into the 30s. And then we're going to see that move on out, be pretty normal. Nothing we're not used to seeing here in Oklahoma. Winds in around those 10s up to 20, peaking around there. We've also gotten about half of the percent of normal rain. This is our percent of normal graphic. That's what that means, half of the normal amount of rain. That is also really contributing to how dry things have been here in the area. Zooming out across the nation, though, we're going to see that cool front's going to move in. You'll notice if you look very, very closely, actually you really don't have to look closely at all, not much rain happening anywhere in the plains here. We see that low kind of move on through, that cool front move on in. Wednesday night, it's going to drop our temperatures slightly, not a whole bunch. And we're going to see temperatures stay above average for the next several days. That's something we're going to be looking at closely. Temperatures are going to be way above average. It's going to be plenty dry. And we're going to see not really whole much rain at all. Wednesday night, we'll see a chance of rain. It's going to be very, very minimal. I'm not expecting to see much with that. We'll see here in a moment. Tonight, temperatures going to be in those 40s, so you're definitely going to want that little jacket going out, maybe a hoodie, some pants. It's going to be not as bad as we saw this morning. We saw temperatures in those upper 20s, but it's going to be in those low 40s overnight, peaking, like getting down into those low 40s at the minimum. Should be pretty nice and comfortable outside. The next 7 days, though, we're seeing temperatures going to stay pretty consistently, bouncing the lows in those 40s and upper 50s, highs in those 60s and 70s. And again, that rain threat Wednesday night, very, very minimal. It's going to be very, very dry, so I would be very surprised if we saw that rain actually even fall to where we are really feeling it. But I want to go ahead and put a 20% on there because there is that chance of rain, although it is very, very minimal and a lot of clear skies. If you guys like to be outside in this dry and warm weather, it's a great time to do that. I know personally I love taking advantage of those nice temperatures, 60s and 70s. I'm wearing short sleeve and shorts. I don't know about you guys. That's what I'm rocking in this type of weather.
Well, right now I'm wearing a suit, but I did want to ask you, Isaac, is this a normal amount of wildfires for February in Oklahoma? We've been covering this for over a week now.
Yeah, really, very often we see temperatures kind of hover in this area and a lot of dryness happen as well. And of course, it's Oklahoma. It's going to be windy, so we're seeing that. It's very, very often and very seen this time of year. So
definitely. Well, many organizations in Oklahoma are stepping up to aid wildfire victims. The organizations you see on your screen are collecting donations like non-perishable foods, hay, feed, fencing, and any financial donations. For more information, you can visit the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management's wildfire relief information page.
Well, don't go anywhere, anyone. We got sports up next. Stay tuned.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm Jamin Dawson, and it's time for sports. OU men's basketball lost 75-71 at home Saturday to Texas A&M. But that's only one side of the story. OU Nightly's Hunter Corneo has more.
It's a decade in the making for the Big 12's all-time leading scorer and leader of Oklahoma's 2016 Final Four run as Sooner legend Buddy Hield finally had his jersey retired Saturday night versus Texas A&M.
Tonight, number 24, Buddy Fresh, Buddy Buckets, Buddy Love, Buddy Hield.
I was just smiling, I would say, for real. You know, also I was about time. I kind of missed the preparation each and every day getting ready for games. You know, the NBA is kind of different. It's always back-to-back and a lot of uncertainty, but here you know what you're getting. Just missed the preparation. I missed the guys, missed the crowd. I just missed the energy, man. It was just a vibe here, you know, and this vibe can never be created or we did. I always have a special place in my heart.
A special guy, you know, number one. Plays with such joy, energy, all about team, whatever he can do to help others be better, and guy just relentless with his work ethic and passion for the game. Just a joy to be around. No one could be more deserving. You know, he's a guy that stayed that fourth year. It's always nice when your best player is also one of your hardest workers.
3, 2, 1.
Now Buddy's number 24 will hang in the rafters in the home of Oklahoma basketball forever. Reporting from the Lloyd Noble Center, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hunter. Elias Chavez tied the SEC record for consecutive free throws made with 47 during OU's 100-93 win over number 23 Tennessee Sunday. The Volunteers committed 32 charitable fouls in the game, allowing OU to score more free throws than made shot attempts. OU's next game comes home Thursday against Arkansas at 6. The biggest event of Crimson Crossover Weekend brought John Mateer out the house to watch the most anticipated meet of the season, number 1 OU women's gymnastics over number 2 LSU. OU came out victorious over the Bayou Bengals in front of a record-breaking crowd with over 10,200 fans in the stands. OU's next meet will be at home Friday against Auburn. Number 4 Oklahoma softball took command early against number 23 Washington Sunday to close out the Mary Nutter Classic. This Nellie McEnroe-Marinas home run would set off another dominant day for the Sooners. The run rules are already set to go into effect as Ella Parker knocks her third homer over the fence. OU wins 15-2. Number 13 OU baseball continued their undefeated start with a weekend sweep over Coppin State. Drew Dickerson headed dinger at the bottom of the fourth. Sooners setting the tone, winning the first game 22-1. Dickerson homered again Saturday, but so did Miles Davis, hitting his first homer of the season. OU's next series starts Tuesday at 4 against Arizona State. Bryn, Lyndon.
Thanks, Jamin. Wuthering Heights took theaters by storm this Valentine's Day. But for a movie with height in the name, it fell short comparison to another film that might surprise you.
We'll have all that and more after the break.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Alyssa Campbell at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Police confirmed they have cleared a store after a bomb threat. Oklahoma City PD evacuated a Walmart located near West Reno Avenue at 2 p.m. Shoppers and workers shortly waited outside while police cleared the store. The Walmart has since reopened and is back in business. Bryn, Linden, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa, for the update.
We're going to send it over to Isaac with a new update on Oklahoma's weather. It's just going up and down. How are we looking?
Yes, we've been seeing things move up and down pretty rapidly here. We've seen temperatures, though, in those 60s and 70s, so we're really seeing things be a little more consistent for the first time in quite a while. We're going to see weather really stay pretty consistent. And that fire is really something we're going to be watching very, very closely. Make sure you're tuning in every day to OU Nightly as this fire threat really continues to ramp up and stay pretty prevalent here in Oklahoma. We've been weathering very, very well. And that's really how we've been looking here in Oklahoma with temperatures staying pretty consistently in those 60s and 70s. I would say for some people that's a pretty goated forecast, I would say myself. So.
Yeah, Isaac. Well, I know after OU Nightly spoke to some firefighters, they're saying to always prepare a go bag just in case anything goes wrong. But in other news, guys, I went with my friends this weekend to go see Wuthering Heights. But according to other moviegoers, there's another film that took home the cake for most popular.
Yeah, that's right. This movie was literally called The GOAT, and I'm not kidding. $17 million at the box office. GOAT balled out against Wuthering Heights and came out on top.
And the cast of the movie might include some familiar faces such as Steph Curry, Dwayne Wade, and Jelly Roll.
And even Angel Reese made an appearance. Guys, do you think this movie will be the GOAT of 2026?
Absolutely.
I think it's very, very possible. I mean, with names like Steph Curry, Dwayne Wade, that's a star-studded cast for sure.
Sure is.
Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live on weekdays at 4:30. Have a good night.
Thank you.